So I used to work as a security guard at General Motors like 20 years ago. So my job was to walk around the entire plant and check things out. So I seen the cars made from scratch to a finished SUV. And the crazy thing I remember the most is at the end, when the car was finished, they would put it on this track looking thing, and the car would be driving 70, 80 miles an hour. They're revving up the engine. They're doing all this stuff to it, and it seems like they're like trying to damage the car. And then they pull it off of that, and somebody drives it real fast around in the parking lot, and then they park it. What I found out is they're testing the vehicle to make sure before it gets to you, before it gets to the buyer, that nothing is wrong with it. They've already tested it. The same thing happens with you. When God is trying to use you, when you ask for God to use you in a certain way, it's going to be tested. And it's not going to be easy. You're going to go through some painful, hard things because you're asking to be tested. Those trucks were going through some very, very rigorous testing. I mean, they were putting the pedal to the metal, doing everything they could to see if this car was going to be damaged. You're going to go through the same thing when you ask to be used. I started doing these motivational videos a couple weeks ago, and guess what happened? A bunch of stuff started coming my way, a bunch of tests, a bunch of trials, a bunch of tribulations, a bunch of stuff. And I was like, man, all this stuff is coming out of nowhere. Then I remembered, you asked to be used. You're going to be tested. You got to be able to get through the test. And if you can get through this test, it's so much more on the other side. You can be used once you get through the test. Everything before it is put out for production is tested. God has to test you before you're used for production. Do not try to get out the test, because if you get out the test, you get out of the promise.